If you're an HVAC or plumbing contractor and your phone is not ringing like it used to, chances are one of these 3 silent killers is the reason. And no, it's not your marketing agency. These fundamental mistakes I see all the time and are costing you leads and business. Let's start by fixing them today. Hey there, I'm Joshua Crouch, founder of Relentless Digital. We've helped hundreds of HVAC, plumbing, and electrical contractors rank higher on Google Maps. Today, I'm going to show you the most common mistakes I see so you can avoid them. Before we get into the first mistake, I want you to think about something. If your competitors are showing up and you're not, the biggest problem might be because of what you're hiding on your profile. And the problem is most people hide this thing because Google tells them they have to based on their address. Think hiding your address helps you rank better? Think again. I've analyzed thousands of Google business profile listings over the last 5 years, and at this point, hiding your address almost always leads to lower rankings. If your competitors have a physical office listed inside of the city limits of the city that you want to rank in, and you're just what's called a service area business listing, you're already going to be way behind because of how the algorithm works. But don't worry, today in this video, we're going to teach you the ways how to compete with them and ultimately beat those competitors. So your action steps on mistake number 1 is if you have a legitimate office listed, show the address. Just that one change will increase your rankings. If not, start looking for a physical office address. I can promise you that investing in an office will tremendously help your Google business profile rankings. And those increased rankings are going to bring you new leads and new customers. If that's absolutely not an option for you right now, keep this in the back of your mind. You're really going to have to double down on local relevance, meaning you're going to have to go out, reach out to other businesses in your market, get local backlinks from their website to yours, and really pound pavement that way. That is really the only way you're going to be able to compete with someone that has a physical office. All right, and to hammer this point home, I'm going to share with you a case study. This is something we did almost 2 years ago now. This client came to us, they had 2 SAB listings. They were using their home and they were using a technician's home. You can see that where they were ranking their technician's home over here, and this is how they were ranking for their home address. So before they started working with us, we asked them to get at least 1 office for their primary listing. So this was on January 22nd of 2023. We changed the address, we got it verified with Google, and literally the next day, you can see the ranking increases. We, at this point, hadn't even onboarded this client to do any work. And you can see just how much that grew, just this one change. So we've covered in depth mistake number 1 and just how much more you can rank by getting a physical address. There are things to consider before you get that office address. So just because the post office says your office address is inside of the city you want to rank for doesn't mean it's within Google's definition of that city. And if you have a lot of competition, this could completely destroy your rankings. If your map pin is even 1 block outside of Google's invisible city boundary, you could be invisible to thousands or tens of thousands of people searching for your service. That's thousands of potential missed revenue because Google doesn't think you're local. All right, so now if you want to make sure that the address you're searching for is within Google's city limits, first of all, you want to go to google.com/maps or go to the Maps app. Put the address of the location in there, hit enter. What you're gonna find, you're gonna see the map pin right in the middle of your screen. Now what you wanna do is you want to zoom out from there. In this example, this client is in Mesa, Arizona. So we wanna make sure that this map pin is actually inside of Google's definition of Mesa. So all we need to do from here is type in the city and state. And what you're gonna notice is Google's gonna zoom out and this red dotted map is going to appear here. Now, take a mental snapshot of where that map pin was. And if you have to do this a couple times, especially if you're on the border, please do so. But it's very important. You can see Google's map of Mesa is really odd. There's really odd spots here. There's little spots where it doesn't consider it in Mesa. And then the next thing you want to do is see what your competition looks like in that city. And this is going to give you an idea. And you see that most of the plumbers that showed up here are within the city limits that Google determines for Mesa. Now, if I saw a map where there were map pins north, south, east, and west of Mesa, that means there's not a lot of competition, and most likely you'll be able to rank either way. If this is a primary city we want to rank in, we definitely need to be located inside of the Google's boundaries here. So what are your options if you're outside of the city limits right now? Well, number one is to move your location. Now, that doesn't mean you have to get a big shop or a warehouse or even own the building. A lot of times that's not reasonable from a cash perspective, but your next best option is to open a second listing or move the address of your primary listing. Now, if you do this, you're gonna wanna download our video verification guide, because anytime you change your address or add a new Google Business Profile listing, you're gonna need to pass video verification. So I'm gonna put that down in the description below for you. Please download that and use that as your guide when you move offices. You're also gonna wanna subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications, as we have a future video planned that dives into how to find the perfect additional place for a GBP listing and the common hurdles that contractors face. Once you have a second GBP listing in the area, start by watching the video that's linked above, which goes through step-by-step how to optimize your Google Business Profile listing so you can get maximum visibility with both of your listings. If you've already moved locations or opened a second GBP just to rank better, let me know in the comments. I want to hear the war stories of what you went through to get that listing verified. Struggling to rank on Google Maps isn't just about one issue. It's a mix of hidden technical problems, bad setup, and a lack of consistency. If you're tired of guessing and want a clear plan to fix this once and for all, book a free strategy call with my team. That link is going to be down in the description below, and we will help you figure out what's holding you back and how to fix it fast. Now we're on to the last mistake that I see all the time. Prior to 2024, the business hours on your profile really were only to help somebody that actually traveled to your location, but now they actually help increase or decrease your rankings. So essentially, Google is watching when you're open and when you're closed, and they're deciding how to rank you based on your hours of operation. So what does this mean for you? Now, most contracting businesses have people in the office roughly from 8 to 5. So that means at 5:01 p.m., if your Google listing says that you close at 5, your visibility and rankings are gonna drop, and they're gonna decrease below those that show as open or open 24 hours. So if you are hurting for leads, this is one really simple thing that you can change literally right now while you're watching this video to increase your rankings and to get more visibility when people get home from work or on the weekends. Now, with that being said, there's a couple things to take into consideration for the operations of your business. If you have an answering service or an AI after hours call center, I personally believe that it is in your best interest to leave your hours as 24/7 on your profile. That way, somebody always is answering the phone. Now, if you don't have those things, I would suggest not keeping your office hours open as long, because that's gonna hurt the user experience and it's gonna leave a bad taste in the homeowner's mouth. From my experience, when I last ran an HVAC company, most of our phone calls came in at 3 different times throughout the day. First thing in the morning, at lunch, or when people got home from work. And that's really how we structured our business to make sure we had coverage in the morning, at lunch, and then later on in the day when people got home and found out that their system wasn't working. Which mistake do you think most HVAC and plumbing businesses make? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you're struggling to rank on Google Maps, these 3 mistakes might be holding you back. Fix your SAB or service area business listing, move to a location inside of Google's definition of the city limits, and change your business hours to maximize your visibility. If you need help ranking on Google Maps, my team at Relentless Digital specializes in Google Business Profile optimization for home service contractors. Click below to book a strategy session today. Now that you know what's killing your Google Maps rankings, let's dive into some Google Business Profile hacks to get even more leads and opportunity for your business. Click the next video on your screen now to watch that.